ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतानः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Dear friends, we are going through the Bhashyam under the fifth Anuvaka of Brahmanandavalli of Taittiriya Upanishad. Fifth Anuvaka in Brahmanandavalli. We read the mantra, we were also reading the Bhashyam. So the discussion here is about the Anandamaya Kosha. Shankaracharya is pointing out that this Anandamaya Kosha is not the final, because there were some contemporary theories that Anandamaya Kosha is the final, is the ultimate. Anandamaya Kosha is the Supreme Brahman. So that was the contention of some of his contemporaries. So he wants to establish that it is Anandamaya Kosha, after all, is also a Kosha. It is also a Kosha, it is also a Drishyam, and that is not the final, that is not the absolute Brahman. So for that he gave some reasons also. He gave some reasons such as, number one is, the context is totally different. Prakaranacha. The Prakaranam here is about Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, how a person has to gradually withdraw from one lower self to lower self and then seek his real identity. So initially he discards his identity with external objects and then limits himself to the Annamaya Kosha, the notion of self. Instead of extending to his wife, children, property and all that, it gets limited to the Annamaya Kosha. Then he contemplates on that and then he realizes that there is something deeper, which is Pranamaya Kosha. So Annamaya Kosha resolves into this. Annamaya Kosha resolves into this. That is what is called Lina, Pravilina. Annamaya Kosha as though it dissolves into this or resolves into this. Then Pranamaya Kosha, he contemplates on that and then he realizes that there is something deeper, which is Manomaya Kosha. So Pranamaya Kosha becomes absorbed in this. Similarly, Manomaya Kosha gets absorbed in Vijnanamaya Kosha. So the Vijnanamaya Kosha is getting absorbed in Anandamaya Kosha. So when all these things, this is called Pravilapa. Prancha Kosha, Pravilapa, Prakriya. That is what we have seen, the five Koshas. One getting merged in the other, one getting dissolved into the other. So that is what we have seen. And Anandamaya Kosha, why it is not the final? Shankaracharya was saying that it is in the context. The context is about this discarding of what is all non-self. All these non-selves are being discarded. So in that context, then the second point he gave was Mayat Shabdacha. Mayat, we have to take it in the sense of Vikararthe. Vikara. It is Ananda Vikara only and not pure Ananda. When you say Ananda Maya, it is Ananda Vikara. It is a modification of that Ananda. You are looking at an object, you are getting an object, and then after having an object, that Vishayananda, whatever happiness or joy you derive out of that particular object. So that is what is that Vishayananda. It is a Vikara of the absolute Ananda. It is a modification of that absolute Ananda. It is a small reflection. It is a small glimpse of that supreme Ananda. So that is the Mayat. Mayat also limits this Anandamaya Kosha. Then he also said Sankramanacha. Anandamayam upasankramati. We are going to see that in subsequent Anuvakas. Upasankramanam, that is from moving from one to the other, So this upasankramanam can take place only in the case of a drushya, in the case of something which is finite. In infinity, there is no upasankramanam. In infinity, there is no question of moving from one point to the other. So that upasankramanam is another thing. Then another point he said was avayava kalpana, shiradi kalpana anupapattescha. So for this Anandamaya Kosha also, there is a shiradi kalpana. For this Anandamaya Kosha, then what is this? Priya is the shira, then Moda is one say wing, and Pramoda is another wing. Ananda, the very source of Ananda, that the supreme Brahman, that Ananda is the very self of it. And then Brahma Pucham Pratishtha, that is the ultimate thing to be sought, is that Brahma, which is the Pucha Brahma, which is the support, or rather that which is not the tail of a human being. You should not confuse with a human being. The human being has no tail, so it has become redundant. So it is dropped off long ago. Now the description is about a bird. The description, Savayesha Purusha Vidhayeva, we need not take it literally as a human form. In fact, in the case of a bird, the pucham, the tail, is most important because that stabilizes. So then Brahma, that is supposed to be the pucham, that is supposed to be the support, that is supposed to be the substratum. So that is where we were. So this avayava kalpana will become rather redundant if or inappropriate rather. It will become inappropriate if Anandamaya were to be the real Brahma. So Anandamaya is not the absolute Brahma. Anandamaya is only one more kosha. It is only one step below that realization. So, and also he is giving some more arguments. He has given some more arguments saying that this Vijnanamaya kosha is at the level of Karma Yoga. We also discussed Vijnanamaya. He performs all the yajnas and all that. After understanding them and after knowing the full meaning and all that, he performs those yajnas. But here, Jnana Karmanor hi phalam anandaha. Then here we are also having this upasana, Jnana Karma. Jnana here is upasana. There is Vidya, and Vidya means upasana, and also Karma. So this is at a slightly higher level. And in fact, of course, Shankaracharya has not told. We can also relate it to the Gita. In the last class, I told you how we can relate it to the Gita also. These Karma Yogis, they go to one particular level. They keep on returning. After enjoying the fruits of the karma, they keep on returning. Whereas this person who is a mixture of this Vidyancha, as the Ishavasya says, mixture of the mixing or say combining this upasana and karma, these people, they attain that Hiranyagarbhaloka. That is what is called Shuklagati. Shuklagati and Krishnagati we have seen. So that also can be related. So Anandamaya Kosha is something which is distinct from the Vijnanamaya Kosha. So that is what we have to see. And it is also to be noted that that is not the final thing. So we are at that point. In the last class we read this line, Sacha Vijnanamaya Dantaraha. This line we read, Sacha Vijnanamaya Tad Vikaraha Anandamaya Ananda iti Vidya Karmanoho Phalam. Ananda is the result of that Vidya and Karma. Then Tad Vikaraha Anandamaya. Some that Ananda is reflected in this particular kosha. That is what is called, that is why it is Anandamaya. Such a Vijnanamayad Antaraha. That is the inner self of the Vijnanamaya itself. Because Vijnanamaya is not the ultimate. Vijnanamaya becomes complete only when there is Anandamaya. So it dissolves into this Anandamaya. Then Yajnadi Hetur Vijnanamayasya Antaratva Shrutehe. This Vijnanamaya Kosha is Yajnadi Hetuhu. Yajnadi Hetuhu means that is the cause. That is the level at which he performs yajna and all these good activities. All these may be social activities and various activities which are relating to say welfare, let us say. Say yajna. Yajna, we have seen a very broad definition of yajna in Gita, chapter 4. So here that definition also can be taken, not merely a small ritual which is there, various other things. Shrauta yajna and smarta yajna, various other activities, they also come under the say definition of yajna. So this Vijnanamaya Kosha is where he performs a lot of activity. So that is a different thing, that is a different level. So Vijnanamayasya Yajnadi Hetoho, that which is the cause for that Yajnadi Kosha. For that Vijnanamaya Kosha, this Anandamaya Kosha is Antaraha. Antaratva Shrutehe. The Shruti is saying that this Anandamaya Kosha is the inner self of that Vijnanamaya Kosha. Up to this point we read. Let us read. Jnana Karmanor hi phalam
ज्ञानकर्मणोर्हि फलम्
भोक्तृर्थत्वात् अंतरतमं स्यात्. So this bhoktrarthatvat, jnana karmanor phalam bhoktrarthatvat. This the fruit of this say jnana and karma. Jnana karmanoho means of jnanam and upasana. Phalam, the fruit of that. Kart bhoktrarthatvat, that is for the purpose of the bhokta. Bhoktrartham. Pitrartham means for the sake of pita. Say bharyartham means for the sake of bharya. Putrartham, phalartham, for the sake of phalam. Similarly, bhoktrartham means for the sake of bhokta. For the sake of the enjoyer only, this jnana and karma, the jnana karmanoho phalam, is intended for the benefit of this bhokta. All our karma and upasana, whatever we do, that is for achieving a benefit, for achieving some phalam for the bhokta, who is the enjoyer. So we have seen this level. One is say karta and one is bhokta. Karta is at the level of vijnanamaya kosha. Bhokta is at the level of anandamaya kosha. So that is the distinction between say vijnanamaya kosha and anandamaya kosha. That is at the level of karta, and this here it is at the level of bhokta. So jnanam karmanor hi phalam bhoktrarthatvad antaratamam syat. It is more inner. Antaratamam, it is the innermost rather. Antaratama, tama is superlative, tara is comparative, tama is superlative. This is the innermost. Though it is innermost, it is kosha only. So that is what we have to see. Because this also is, it is also seen by the witness self in the swapna. That also we will see. This Anandamaya kosha is also seen by the sakshi in the swapna. This Anandagiri also is pointed, Anandagiri points out later. I will read out that line also. So, Antaratamascha Anandamayaha Anandamaya Atma Purvebhyaha. So, Purvebhyaha Koshebhyaha, that is in comparison with this earlier koshas. In comparison with the earlier koshas, this Anandamaya Atma, this self which is called Anandamaya, Antaratamaha, this is the innermost. Then Vidya Karmanoho Priyadyarthatvacha Priyadi Prayuktehi Vidya Karmani. So Vidya Karmanoho, of this Vidya and Karma, this is Dvivachanam, isn't it? So Vidya and Karma, they are meant for Priyadyarthatvacha, Priya, Moda, Pramoda. For the purpose of all this Priya, Moda and Pramoda only, we perform all this Vidya and Karma. All this Vidya and Karma, these Upasanas and all these Karmas, etc., they are intended for this Loka Prapti, isn't it? Pure Karma Yoga, it is not going, he is just enjoying the fruit of that action and then returning. When he is doing an Upasana, he is going to a particular Loka. He is going to a particular, suppose he is doing an Upasana. What does it mean? He is attaining the status of the Upasya Devata. And in that Loka, he is supposed to stay for some time, enjoy for some time. So that Priya component comes in there. Priyadyarthatvacha. So this Karma and Upasana, they are for the purpose of this Priya and Moda, Pramoda, etc. Arthatvacha. Priyadyarthatvacha, is it clear?
Yes.
It is meant for some happy results only. Meant for some happy results. Meant for achieving some lokas. You see, all these rishis and munis, they were doing some tapasoho. He has achieved some loka, Brahma loka. He has achieved some other loka. He has achieved some other loka. We read some stories. So this is the meaning of that. They achieve that loka means they are in that state of happiness. So that is it. And also the next point says, Priyadi Prayuktehi Vidya Karmani. Vidya Karmani. Again, the Dvivachana. Vidya and Karma. Karma Karmani. Vidya and Karma. Priyadi Prayukte. That is, they are actually prompted by the desire. Priyadi Prayukte. They are prompted by the desire for Priya, Moda, Pramoda. We do all activities. We do whether it is Karma and also Upasana for the purpose of attaining this happiness, for the purpose of attaining these lokas, etc. For the purpose of attaining these lokas. Then Tasmat Priyadinam Phalaswarupanam Atma Sannikarshat Vijnanamayasya Abhyantaratvam Upapadyate
आभ्यन्तरत्वम् उपपद्यते
प्रियादि वासना निर्वृत्तो हि
प्रियादि वासना
निर्वर्तिता also is okay. Nirvrutto hi. Nirvartita, your book says?
निर्वर्तितो हि
Fine, it doesn't matter. Nirvartito hi anandamayo vijnanamayashritah
विज्ञानमयाश्रितः
swapne upalabhyate.
स्वप्ने उपलभ्यते.
So he is saying about the thing. You see, this Vijnanamaya Kosha, a person in his normal wakeful state, he performs various good activities. And after performing all these good activities, that leaves a very nice impression in his mind. You do any good activity, it leaves a good impression in the mind. Practically, you are happy. And then that continues in the sleep also. You do some very good activity and sleep. Then that happiness will give rise to some good swapna. In fact, even our swapnas, they are supposed to be the result of our karmas only. The swapna, whatever dreams we get, they are supposed to be the result of our good or bad karma. Suppose in the dream you are suffering quite a bit. Who is the person who is suffering? Your own Vijnanamaya Kosha, which is suffering there at that time also. So that Vijnanamaya Kosha has performed some action here. Then in that suffering also, that Anandamaya Kosha, that Ananda is deprived of. So the person is suffering there. So this is supposed to be a result of our good karma or bad karma. So all these good karmas, they are again seen in the swapna. So there, the Vijnanamaya is not separately there in swapna. So that Vijnanamaya's vasana is there. Vijnanamaya, whatever good action you have performed during the day, that vasana, that samskara as we call it, that samskara, whatever impression which it has left in the mind, that impression continues in the mind, and that forms the basis for the creation of a new world, isn't it? That samskara is the basis for creation of a new world in that swapna. And in that swapna, that samskara, that particular vasana creates a new world, and that gives some happiness to the person. And the sakshi is the drashta of this Anandamaya Kosha also. So this Vijnanamaya Kosha is producing some happy episode there. You are having some nice experience. Maybe you have achieved something. You have maybe in terms of money, maybe in terms of some other thing, whatever is your definition of happiness. Then the Anandamaya Kosha is also there enjoying, and the Sakshi is the drashta for this Anandamaya Kosha also. Sakshi Chaitanyam is the drashta for this Anandamaya Kosha. So let us see this. Tasmat Priyadinam Phalaswarupanam. So this Priya, Moda, Pramoda, these are the Phalaswarupa, that is by way of result. By way of a result, Phalaswarupa means it is by way of result. For what? Upasana and Karma. So Phalaswarupanam, that Upasana and Karma, we have to borrow that word here. Priyadinam Phalaswarupanam. Phalaswarupa of what? Phalaswarupa of Vidya and Karma. And so for these things, Atma Sannikarshat, because these are closer to Atma, they are closer to the real self. This Priya, Moda, Pramoda, they are closer to the real self. Because physical body is totally far away. Pranamaya Kosha is slightly closer. Manomaya Kosha, you have come to cognize things and know things, read Vedas, etc. Vijnanamaya Kosha, you read the Vedas and then you also perform some action. Anandamaya Kosha, you also get some Priya, Moda, Pramoda. Some glimpse of that Ananda you are getting. And that Ananda is the very nature of Brahma. So which means this level where you have some reflection of that Ananda, some glimpse of that Ananda, it is the closest to the Supreme Ananda. So Atma Sannikarshat, it is Sannikarsha, it is closer. This Priya, Moda, Pramoda, which are the results of this Upasana and Karma, they are the closest to this Atma Swarupa. Then Atma Sannikarshat, Vijnanamayasya Abhyantaratvam Upapadyate. So Vijnanamayasya. So this Vijnanamaya is for that Vijnanamaya Abhyantaratvam. Abhyantaratvam means innermost. Abhyantara, Bahya, Abhyantara, we know these words. Bahya is external, Abhyantara is internal. Abhyantaratvam Upapadyate. It is appropriate. Then Priyadivasana Nirvruttaha. He means because Priyadivasana nirvurto hi Anandamaya. This Anandamaya has been achieved, has been brought into existence. Nirvrutta, nirvartita, it means it has been brought into existence. It has been wrought, W-R-O-U-G-H-T, it has been achieved, let us say. It has been achieved or brought into existence. This Anandamaya has been brought into existence because of the Priyadi Vasana. This Priyadi Vasana, this good deeds you have done. The good deeds, all these actions, that Vasana is there. That Vasana means that impressions which are there. So that impressions only they have produced this Anandamaya. Priyadi Vasana Nirvurta, it is associated, or rather, we can say this way, this Anandamaya Kosha is associated with all these Priyadi Vasanas. And all this Priyadi Vasana is dependent on Vijnanamaya Kosha. Because this Vijnanamaya Kosha also has acted there in the Swapna. Vijnanamaya Kosha during daytime, it has performed some activities. It has got its own, Vasanas, and then that has produced, some Priya, some happiness. And then this Anandamaya Kosha consists of that happiness which is produced by these Vasanas. So, all this is basically an analysis of dream. Analysis of dream, whatever activities we do, these activities, they produce some, impressions in our mind. And these impressions, they form the basis for creation of another, world in that dream, for the creation of a dream world. And that dream world either gives us happiness or unhappiness. So that happiness is being described here. And that happiness is that Anandamaya Kosha. And that Anandamaya Kosha is again, it is a subject matter for, the subject matter means the witness Sakshi, the Sakshi Chaitanya is witnessing that Anandamaya Kosha also. So here of course we can read the line of Anandagiri. Anandagiri says, Priyadi Vishishtasya Swapne Sakshino Upalabhyatvacha Sakshina Upalabhyatvacha. So the Priyadi Vishishtasya Anandamayasya, this Anandamaya Kosha which is associated with Priya, Moda, Pramoda, Swapne, in the dream, Sakshina Upalabhyatvat, it is being seen, it is being witnessed by the Sakshi. So that is why this Anandamaya Kosha also falls into the category of Drishyam. So earlier also Anandamaya, Shankaracharya said, Anandamaya na parabrahma ananda iti vidyakarmano pratisthesvavi. It has fallen in the category of Drishyam. That is some line we read earlier. It has fallen. Anandamaya Kosha also falls into the category of Drishyam. So that is what Anandagiri is saying in a different context. So because this Anandamaya Kosha also becomes, it is witnessed by the Sakshi, it is also a Drishyam. Sakshina Upalabhyatvacha na Mukhyatmatvam ityaha. So that is what he says. It is not the Mukhyatma. It is not the absolute Brahma, absolute Atma or absolute Brahma. It is a Kosha only. Because that is not the Ananda Swarupa. We are only seeing the Vishaya Ananda and not the Swarupa Ananda. So that was the point. Tasya Anandamayasya Atmanaha Ishtaputradi Darshanajam Priyam
Ishtaputradidarshanajam priyam
Shira iva shiraha pradhanyat. For that Anandamaya Atma, Tasya Anandamayasya Atmanaha, of that Anandamaya, at that Anandamaya level, when you see something, when you get a good result, Ishtaputradi Darshanajam, that is, looking at your son, looking at your every day, every morning you will be looking at your son, that's a different thing. But here of course we have to visualize a special situation. We need not also say Ishtaputradi Darshanajam Priyam. The happiness which you derive when you look at something which is very, very dear to you, such as your son. You look at your son and you feel very happy. Of course, it again depends on the relationship between you and your son. So instead of Putra, you add anything. So you look at, you see somebody whom you like most, whom you respect most, or whom you love most, whatever it is. So Ishtaputradi, so that is why Shankaracharya also says Adi, Ishtaputra Adi. So anything you love, suppose you are in a very, very morose condition. At that morose condition, you see a very good friend of yours. So you feel happy. So that is it. Anandamayasya Atmanaha Ishtaputradi Darshanajam Priyam Shira iva shiraha. It is comparable to that shiras. Pradhanyat. Because it is because it is important there. Because it is important. Anandamaya, for that Anandamaya to come into existence, this is the say factor. It's an important factor. Something you are getting, something you are seeing. You are having a contact with some good thing, whatever you like, you are getting it. So, Ishtaputradi Darshanajam Priyam, Shira iva Shiraha. It is somewhat like the Shira. Then Moda iti Priyalabha Nimitto Harshaha. Sayevacha Prakrushto Harshaha Pramodaha. So Moda. So again there is a differentiation he is making. Priya, Moda and Pramoda. We can't find very exact words in English as I said earlier. We can tentatively use some words like Priya means something which is dear. Moda means some joy or happiness. Pramoda is some rejoicing, at the level of rejoicing. So Moda iti Priya Labha Nimittaha Harshaha. Priya Labha. That means you have got it. That has become yours. You have seen something, you have acquired it. That acquisition level where you are more happy with this acquisition, Priya Labha Nimittaha. Priya Labha means you have attained it. Priya Labha Nimittaha. Nimitta means caused by that. Harshaha. Harsha is a higher level. Higher level when compared to Moda is higher level compared to Priya. And then Pramoda is Sayevacha, the very same thing. Sayevacha Prakrushto Harshaha. Prakrushtaha. Prakrushtaha means more. Prakrushta. More, elevated. Prakrushto Harshaha. Pramodaha. That is called rejoicing. There can't be any, I don't know whether there is a much, more significant word. Some people have translated it as exhilaration. Exhilaration is slightly different. Exhilaration in a different context. Pramoda is rejoicing, happiness. So then, Ananda iti Sukha Samanyam Atma Priyadinam Sukhavavayanam Teshvanusyutatvat Ananda iti Param Brahma. Okay, Ananda. Now we are making a difference between Vishayananda and Absolute Ananda. So what is the status of Vishayananda? What is the level of that Vishaya? Vishayananda means the happiness you derive when you attain a thing. When you see a thing, when you attain a thing, when you enjoy a thing. They are all, that is one level of Ananda. All that is called Vishaya Ananda. Then the Absolute Ananda is different. What is the difference? Ananda iti Sukha Samanyam Atma. This Atma or Brahma, whatever we say, that is Sukha Samanyam. Sukha Samanyam means it is not connected to a particular Vishesha. It is not connected to a particular object. Sukha Samanyam, it is totally generic in nature. You use the word generic, you see. It is a generic expression. Sukha Samanyam, Sukham as a generic expression. It is not associated with any object. When you are totally full, when you are complete, when you are Ananta, you are totally, absolutely unconnected with any, all objects, they fall into you only. All objects, they fall into you. It is not limited to a particular object. It is not connected or limited. It is not delimited to a particular object. You are connected with the infinity. You are connected with the infinity. You are not connected to a delimited object. So that is where this Ananda becomes Ananda Samanyam. Sukha Samanyam. It becomes more generic in nature. It becomes more, pervasive. Not exactly pervasive. It is the infinity. It means there is no question of, there is no question of any limitation in that. So this is something which is different from Vishayananda. Ananda iti Sukham, Sukha Samanyam. That is a word, it is a general expression or a generic expression, you can say. Generic sense. Then Priyadinam Sukhavavayanam, and all these Priya, Moda, Pramoda, they are all Sukha Avayavas. They are all different levels. Sukha Avayava, different limbs. Different limbs means different levels, that's all. Sukha Avayavanam, Teshu Anusyutatvat. In all these things, it is Anusyuta. Anusyuta means it runs through all Vishaya experiences. Whatever Vishaya experience you have, this Brahmananda is Anusyuta. It is running through that. You eat some chocolate, that chocolate gives you some happiness. You eat some ice cream, that ice cream gives you some happiness. You get some money or something like that, you have some happiness. In all these happinesses, let us say, in all these joys and pleasures, what is the common thread? The common thread is that Brahmananda only. That Brahmananda, tentatively, it is just showing you as a glimpse. It is reflecting on the mind as a glimpse. Anusyuta. Anusyuta means something which is running through all, which is a connecting thread, which is running through, not connecting thread, it is running through all. Anusyuta. It is through, for example, Sutratma. Anusyuta, we have seen that word. Anusyuta means it is, running through also we can say. Syuta, Syun, S-E-W-N, Syun also, it is as though you are sowing something. So, it is Anusyuta, it is running through all these things. Anusyutatvad, Ananda iti param Brahma. This Ananda which runs through all these small experiences, that is the Supreme Brahma. This Ananda which is infinite, and in that infinite only you are having this small Vishayananda. In that infinity, you are having this connection with the small object, and then you are having a happiness. Somebody is having happiness, say connection with some other object, he is happy with that. So all these are Vishayanandas. They all form, they are in all these things. This infinity, Ananda infinity is running through all these things. So it is like that. Anusyutatvat. And then when is this Ananda known to us? So that is what he again says. This Ananda is known to us by some good luck, Shubha Karma. You have to do some good Shubha Karma, some good activity you have to do. Some good activity, it has to result in some Vritti Vishesha. That whatever good activity you do, it produces some happy thought in your mind. And that happy thought, drives away ignorance for some time, not ignorance, some unhappiness for some time, and then presents this happiness before you. So that is what he is going to say. Tadhi Shubha Karmana Pratyupasthapyamane Putra Mitradi Vishaya Visheshopadhau Antahkarana Vritti Visheshe Tamasa Aprachhadyamane Prasanne Abhivyajyate. So tad kada abhivyajyate, that particular happiness or that particular Brahma, kada abhivyajyate, when does it become manifest? Abhivyanjanam. Abhivyajana means it becomes manifest. It becomes clear. It becomes manifest. When, however, in what condition when you have this Anandamaya, Ananda Brahma? When your mind is very, very clear. Prasanne antahkarane. When the antahkarana becomes very, very prasanna. Antahkarana, when does it become prasanna? It becomes prasanna only, we have seen in the yoga, say chapter 6 of Gita also, Antahkarana becomes prasanna only when you have achieved some amount of self-discipline. Atma Sanyama, when you have that Atma Sanyama, only when that is there, Yama, Niyama, Asana and all those things, only then Antahkarana becomes prasanna. When you get rid of all the dualities, when you forget your narrow self and all that, only then this prasanna antahkarana happens. So, but even in a normal case, some good activity you do. Some good activity, even in the case of a normal person. Tadhi Shubha Karmana Pratyupasthapyamane. Shubha Karma means you do some good activity, some nice activity you do, some helping others, and good activity means helping others. Shubha Karma Yajna is basically, it is a sort of social activity we have seen in Gita also. So in that, Pratyupasthapyamane, it is presenting before you. Pratyupasthapana means presenting before you. Shubha Karmana Pratyupasthapyamane. By that Shubha Karma, it is being presented in front of you. Pratyupasthapita. Upa means near. Upasthapita means it is presenting before you. That Shubha Karma is presenting before you. In what manner? Putra Mitradi Vishesha Vishaya Visheshopadhau. This Upadhi, Putra, Mitra, etc., whether it may be a Putra or a Mitra, a friend or Adi, any other thing, any other happy thing you get, all those are Vishesha Upadhis. Upadhi, these are all say some specific Upadhi. Putra is one Upadhi in which you have happiness. Mitram is another Upadhi, you have happiness. You get some lottery, that is another upadhi. You have some other, acquire something else, you have another upadhi. You have a good, have a nice wife, that is another upadhi. So all these are upadhis. So you have got a good son who is, say, doing well, that is again an upadhi. So all those things, they are all good upadhis. In all these upadhis, they are all presented before you by your shubha karma, by your good karma. All these nice things are presented in front of you. Shubha karmana, pratyupasthapyamane, which are all presented in front of you. Who, this putra, mitra, etc., all these upadhis, all these small limiting factors. This putra is one source of happiness, mitram is another source of happiness, something else, a nice wife is another source of happiness. So all these things. So they are all presented before you by your shubha karma. Shubha karmana pratyupasthapyamane vishesha upadhau. Vishesha upadhau means in all these upadhis. Then antahkarana vritti visheshe. Then all these things, in what form is it appearing? It is appearing in the form of an antahkarana vritti. Happiness is an antahkarana vritti only, isn't it? Antahkarana vritti vishesha. It is a modification of the mind only. Happiness is again a modification of mind only. Antahkarana vritti vishesha. In that happiness, in that vritti vishesha, then tamasa aprachyadyamane. Otherwise, normally, the mind is, such happy moment does not arise. Normally it is, say, pervaded by dullness. Tamasa achaditam. Tamasa achaditam means it is pervaded by dullness, it is covered by dullness or enveloped by dullness. Here, tamasa aprachyadyamane. It is, that envelope by this tamas has been removed. That is, that which is not covered by tamas, let us say. Tamasa aprachyadyamane means that which is not covered by tamas, that which is not enveloped by tamas. So normally when a tamo vritti is there, when you do not do any good karma, then obviously tamo vritti will be there. When you do not perform any good activity, when you are only confined to your narrow self and all that, then you are in a tamo vritti. When you do some good activity, this mind, it is free from the tamo vritti. It is free from that tamas. It is no longer enveloped by tamas. Tamasa aprachyadyamane means not enveloped by tamas. When this mind is not enveloped by tamas, you can note in that way. That which is not covered by tamas, that which is not enveloped by tamas. Tamasa aprachyadyamane, not aprachya, aprachyadyamane. Prachyadanam means enveloping. Aprachyadyamane means when it is not enveloped by tamas. When the mind is not enveloped by tamas. When is the mind not enveloped by tamas? When you are very active, when you are actively doing some good thing. Suppose you are very, very actively doing some social work. Then your mind is not filled with tamas at all. When you do not do any activity, when you are engaged only in selfish activity, the mind is filled with the tamas only. So here, when you are doing some good activity, and that good activity is producing some good results in front of you, good results in the form of from putra, mitra, etc., etc., all these vishesha upadhis are presented in front of you. Pratyupasthapyamane, they are presented in front of you. And when this mind is not covered by dullness, it is not covered by tamas, tamoguna, then prasanne. Prasanne means prasanne antahkarane. In such a prasanna antahkarana. When you do a good thing, your antahkarana also will be prasanna. For a good person, antahkarana is supposed to be prasanna. In fact, one shloka you can recall. Tattvavidananda Swamiji has quoted one shloka in this context. For example, in Ramayana there is one shloka. Valmiki, in the very beginning, Valmiki tells his son, tells his student, Akardamamidam tirtham bharadvaja nishamaya. Then prasannambu sanmanushya manoyatha. He looks at a river, Tamasa river, and then this Tamasa river's water is so clear. It is looking like the mind of a sanmanushya manoyatha. It is looking the mind of a good person, of a sat purusha. It is looking like the mind of a sat purusha. It is so clear. The waters of this river are so clear, like the mind of a sat purusha. So the mind of a sat purusha is supposed to be very clear. When you are doing good deeds, your mind is very clear. Your mind is very clean, and then you will go to bed happily. When we don't do any good things, then our mind is unhappy. Our mind is having our own having guilt complexes. We will not be feeling good. So it is like that. Prasanne antahkarane abhivyajyate. Abhivyajyate means it becomes manifest. What becomes manifest? Tad. Tadhi shubha karmana. Tad means tad anandam. That brahmanandam. Say manifests in the form of some small happiness whenever presented in front of you, in the form of a friend, in the form of a putra, in the form of a good wife and all that. All these things, they are presented before you because of your good karma. But then it is only a reflection of that brahmananda. That is it. Then tad vishaya sukhamiti prasiddham loke. So that is not brahmananda, but that is vishaya sukham. It is a reflection of that brahmananda. It is only a glimpse of that brahmananda. That loke, tadeva means that particular ananda, is well known as vishaya sukham. Then tad vritti vishesha pratyupasthapakasya karmanah anavasthitatvat sukhasya kshanikatvam. This sukham also is rather impermanent. Kshanikatvam. Kshanikam is impermanent, very ephemeral. So this sukham is also ephemeral because that karma which has produced that vritti vishesha in front of you, that karma's result is again very ephemeral. Karma is karmanaha anavasthitatvat. Vritti vishesha pratyupasthapakasya. That karma which is producing that particular vritti vishesha, that is presenting that vritti vishesha in your mind. Is it clear? That karma which is generating that particular vritti in your mind, that itself is the result of it is very, very ephemeral. So that is why that sukham also is ephemeral. Sukhasya kshanikatvam. That sukham also is ephemeral. Then when will it become longer and more mature, longer and more, let us say, enduring? You see that sukham produced by a vishaya or some good karma is very, very ephemeral. You do some good karma, you have some happiness, even that is ephemeral. When will it become more enduring? So that is what he says. Tad yada antahkaranam tapasa tamoghanena vidyaya brahmacharyena shraddhaya cha nirmalatvam apadyate yavad tavat vivikte prasanne antahkarane ananda vishesha utkrishyate vipuli bhavati. So this is again a very good, nice statement. How that happiness can become more enduring. How can that become more long lasting? So, one second. So how can that ananda become more enduring or long lasting? That is only when your mind becomes purified by various other things. And what is that purification? Tad yada means while it is so. Tad yada means while it is so. What this vritti, whatever happiness which is produced by good karmas, it is ephemeral in nature. You do some good karma, you have some happiness today. Of course, if you keep on telling about the same happiness forever and forever, that's a different thing. Suppose you do one good work and then you keep on telling about that good work only. It is not that. And then obviously that's a totally different context where the particular man, he is only boasting. He is boasting about his happiness. His earlier happiness, it has gone already. So this karma, the happiness which is generated by karma is ephemeral. So how can it become more long lasting? It become more long lasting when tad yada, while it is so, antahkaranam tapasa tamoghanena tapasa. That is by a tapas which will be able to destroy that tamas. Tamoghanena. Ghana means destroying. Shatrughna, you know. Shatrughna means Shatrum hanti. Iti Shatrughnaha. Hanadhatu. Hanadhatu becomes ghana. Shatrum hanti. Iti Shatrughnaha. Tamoghanaha. Tamaha hanti. So, tamognena tapasa. That is, by a tapas which is going to kill your tamas, which is going to destroy your tamas. So in Gita 18th chapter, we have 17th and 18th chapters, we have seen Satvika tamas, Rajasa tamas and Tamasa tamas, isn't it? Even a Rakshasa can do tapas, isn't it? Rakshasa also can do tapas, Deva also can do tapas, and Rakshasa also can do tapas. When Devas do tapas, it is for the good of the mankind. When Rakshasas do tapas, it is for their own good. Rakshasas do tapas and also get result. That again we should not question, you see. Anybody doing tapas means anybody doing hard work. Suppose a bad fellow does very hard work. He achieves result. So that is what we see in Puranas. In all these Puranas we see this Lord Brahma gives boons to all the Rakshasas. What does it mean? It only symbolically says that Brahma means it is only a karma phaladata. You do a good deed, jolly well he has to give. You do a good deed, you will jolly well get that result. For example, a scientist who creates some nuclear weapons, let us say, that is a Rakshasa tapas. He is doing a tapas, knowing fully well that it is going to destroy humanity. So that is a Rakshasa tapas. So like that, and then suppose somebody uses it. Some other, say the political leaders, they want to use it. Again it is a as a matter of policy, they produce nuclear, such say equipment, let us say. So that means that again a Rakshasa pravrutti. So that is a Rakshasa tapas. So here, antahkaranam tapasa tamognena. So whatever Rakshasa tapas you do, you get result. So that is why all the Rakshasas also get boons. And then ultimately that has to be vanquished by Sattva Guna, isn't it? So and that is manifest in the form of some avatara. Vishnu manifests as some avatara and then suppresses that tamoguna. So that is a different story. Tapasa tamognena, it should be a sattvika tapas, not a rajasa tapas or tamasa tapas. Then vidyaya, brahmacharyena, shraddhaya cha. Vidyaya. Vidya means not upasana here. Vidya means shravana. Shravana manana nididhyasana. Here vidya is shravanadi, not say upasana. Vidyaya. That is what we have seen about sadhana chatushtaya. After sadhana chatushtaya, this Vedanta vichara. Vedanta vichara means shravanam, etc. Then brahmacharyena. Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya does not mean only bachelor. It is not as though only bachelors are entitled for Brahmananda. And brahmacharya means even a married person can be called a brahmachari. Sri Rama was called a brahmachari. Brahmacharya means there can be two meanings. One is Brahmani charati. His mind is focused on the supreme reality called Brahman. So that is Brahmacharyam. Even in the case of a Grihastha, and from that point of view, if you want to say, Brahmachari is somebody who is very strict adherent to, say, Brahmacharya Ashrama Dharma. And then even if he is a married person, if he is a Grihastha, your say, relationship is confined to your wife only. Suppose your relationship is confined to your wife only, that is Brahmacharya. So that is you are a Brahmachari even when you are married. So that is the point. But here, of course, we can take both the meanings. You can take both meanings. Brahmacharya means that is why in the marriages there is a line. What is that line? Dharmecha, arthecha, kamecha, nati charami. I will not go beyond this lady. Dharmecha, arthecha, kamecha, nati charami. Either for dharma, in the case of context of dharma, in the context of artha, or in the context of kama, my relationship is always with this lady. So that is what you say. Nati charitavya. Okay. Then again Purohit also says Nati charitavya. So Shraddha, okay, Brahmacharyena. Shraddhaya cha. Shraddha is again a very important component. Shraddha is that faith and trust. Faith, trust, and say that willing obedience. So willing obedience, all those components will come into that word Shraddha. Because without Shraddha, Shraddhaiva Shiraha, we have seen earlier for that Vijnanamaya Kosha. With all that Shraddha, then with all that, Nirmalatvam apadyate. When there is more Nirmalatvam, there is more Ananda. When there is no Nirmalatva, there is no Ananda. It is again coming back to the reflection of that old example of that reflection of sun on water. The water should be clear and also it should not be turbid, it should be tranquil. It is it should not be turbid and it should be tranquil. So only in such clear water only there can be reflection. So similarly, this mind also should be nirmalatvam apadyate. By all these things, tapasa, tamoghnena and all these things, when it achieves nirmalatvam, yavad tavat tavat. Yavad tavat means gradually it comes. It doesn't come in one day. Suddenly you take up Bhagavad Gita and then suddenly you will not become a jnani and suddenly it will not be achieved. So it will take place over a period of time. Yavad tavat tavat. Gradually as and when it happens, as and how it happens. And we can also take it as yavad means as and how we can take, as and how your mind matures. Or you can also say as much tapas, as much there is tapas, that much there is ananda. So in proportion to the tapas which you do, in proportion to the brahmacharya, in proportion to the vidya and all that nirmalatma will be there. In proportion to the tapas, brahmacharya, etc., that nirmalatma will be there. So in both senses we can take the word yavad tavat tavat. That is, as and how the mind becomes mature, so some slowly. Or the greater the tapas, the greater the ananda. In both senses you can explain this word yavad tavat tavat. In Telugu it is easy to mention. Enta cheskunte anta. Yavad tavat tavat. Enta aite anta. But in English there is no such idiom. This is an idiomatic expression which fits into an Indian language and probably not into English. Exactly. So we have to say translate it as and how this mind gets purified, accordingly that joy, that ananda also becomes, it unfolds. Ananda also unfolds. Or the greater the tapas, the more is your happiness. As much tapas, that much is your happiness. So that is it. Tavad, then vivikte prasanne antahkarane. This prasanne antahkarana becomes vivikta. Vivikta means Vivikta Desha Sevitvam, not that level, not that sense. Vivikta Desha Sevitvam means where nobody is there, is an isolated place, not like that. Vivikta associated with Viveka. Viveka means Atmanatma Viveka. So this man, by this tapas and then brahmacharya and also vidyaya, that vidya is giving him Viveka. Shravana Manana Nididhyasana has given him Viveka. So in that antahkarana which is having that Viveka, then prasanne, it has become cool, tranquil. Prasanne antahkarane. Ananda visheshaha utkrusyate. That ananda vishesha, that Brahma's ananda, that real ananda, it becomes more and more. It becomes more and more. Ananda vishesha utkrusyate. It starts emerging. Ut plus karsha. Ut is up. Karshanam means pulling up. Utkrusyate means it comes up. It some like effervescence or whatever you say. It comes. It emerges. It emerges like that, and then vipuli bhavati. It becomes. It expands. It unfolds and it expands. That means his ananda is not confined to his narrow self and narrow activities. His ananda, his happiness, it unfolds towards all. His love also unfolds towards all. His love, his expression of love also, it extends to all, not merely to his putra, mitra, etc. He loves everyone. So that is it. His ananda vishesha utkrusyate vipuli bhavati. It expands, it unfolds to all. Then vakshyati cha raso vai saha rasagruhyevayam labdvanandi bhavati. Labdvanandi bhavati. Eshahyeva anandayati. Etasyaiva anandasya Anyani bhutani matramupajīvanti. Iti cha shrutyantarat. Okay. So he says, he is quoting some lines. Raso vai saha. We are going to see this. Raso vai saha. The last line only is shrutyantarat. Etasyaivanandasya anyani bhutani matramupajīvanti. It is from some other Upanishad. That is Brihadar. What is the reference given there? In your book some reference? Reference is not given. Okay, anyway, I'll check up. So, okay, that must be from the same Brihadaranyaka. Etasya anandasya matram upajivanti itisha shrutyantarat. Where is that shrutyantaram? From the same thing. It is not from any other text. Okay. Raso vai saha. That is, saha. Saha is, it is referring to that Supreme Brahma. That Supreme Brahma is Ananda Swarupa. Rasaha. Raso vai saha. Then rasa means that is the source of all joy, that is the source of all happiness. Brahma is called, the Supreme Brahma is also called Ananda. We know that it is called Ananda. It is also called Rasa. Supreme Brahma, it is also called Rasa. Rasa means that which is the source of all happiness. It is the source of all joy. Raso vai saha. Rasam hyeva. Rasam hyeva, when in that mantra it is pronounced as Rasagga hyeva. Rasagga hyeva is Rasam hi eva. Rasam itself. Labdhva. Rasam labdhva. That Rasam labdhva means having realized that Brahman. Having realized the nature of that Brahman. Labdhva means not attaining here. Having realized that Brahman. Anandi bhavati. The person becomes Anandi. He is filled with joy. Anandi bhavati. Then Yesha hyeva anandayati. Yesha eva. Yesha hi eva. Because this Ananda, this Brahma only, Anandayati, makes everybody happy. Anandayati. Anandayati. Yesha hyeva anandayati. It causes joy. This Brahma is something, is the thing, this Ananda is the Swarupa of Brahma. And this Ananda is the thing which is the source of all other happinesses. And having realized it, a person becomes, he becomes Anandi, he becomes blissful. So that is why all our Swamis, they have the names Ananda, Ananda. So Tattvavidananda, Paramarthananda, and so on, so Dayananda, all these names, Ananda, Ananda, are only because they have, rejected the identification with the narrow selves. They have gone beyond that Anandamaya Kosha, and then they have identified with this Supreme Brahman, Supreme Reality called Ananda. So that is why their name also, that is, the title is there, that Ananda. So Ananda shows that the person has achieved that fullness. Only when a person achieves that fullness, then he is called Ananda. Anyway, Labdhva Anandi bhavati, Yesha hyeva anandayati, Yetasyaiva anandasya, Anyani bhutani. Anyani bhutani means all other beings. Anyani bhutani, all other beings. Yetasyaiva anandasya, of this Ananda only. Matram upajivanti. Matra. Matra means a small measure. Matra. You know, you take matra. Matra is a tablet you say. Matra. Ma. The meaning of the ma dhatu. The meaning of ma dhatu is the root ma means measure. Matra. Meter, they are all cognate words. Matra, meter, measure. Matra is a small measure. Matram upajivanti means they live on that. All these jivas, all of us, all the beings, whatever ananda we desire, we get, it is a small measure of the Supreme Ananda. The Supreme Ananda, which is Brahma, Ananda, which is nothing other than Brahma. We derive some little bit, we derive a small glimpse of that happiness. Matram upajivanti. Anyani bhutani means all the beings. Matram upajivanti. A small measure, they live on that small measure. All of us, we are supposed to have a small glimpse of that Ananda, and then we are living on that particular Ananda. Etasyaiva anandasya, of this Anandasya, of this Supreme Brahman only. Anyani bhutani matram upajivanti. Upajiva means living on that. Upajivanti. Then iticha shrutyantarat. Is there a shrutyantarat? Is there a quotation from there? Shrutyantarat. Anyway, I will check up in the next class. Evancha. Oh, now its time is over. Oh, I thought we could complete this. Okay, we will complete this in the next class. I will last a few lines. Evancha, we'll see. Okay, this line we can read. Evancha kamopashamotkarshapekshaya shatagunottarottarotkrsha Uttarottarotkasha. Uttarottarotkasha. Anandasya vakshyate.
आनन्दस्य वक्ष्यते.
So now in the following chapters, in the following Anuvakas, we are going to see whose Ananda is 100 times more. X's Ananda is 100 times more than Y's Ananda. Then Y's Ananda, Y's Ananda, let us say, is 100 times more than X's Ananda. Then last man, that Z's Ananda is 100 times more than Y's Ananda. So like that, of course, it goes beyond. X, Y, Z, let us start from A, B, C. B's Ananda is 100 times more than A's Ananda. Then C's Ananda is 100 times more than B's Ananda. We are going to see a huge grade, long list like that. And here, what is the reason for that? Kamopashama utkarsha apekshaya. Kama upashama utkarsha apekshaya. The Rakshasas, the devils, let us say, the devils are bad, say the Rakshasas, the demons, let us say. They only live for desires. Apart from desire, there is nothing else. Desire, and desire. So that desire is there. For them, there is no happiness because they always desire something. There is no happiness. Then human beings, they are a mixture of some goodness and badness. Human being does some good work also. Selfless good deeds they do. So because of the selfless good deeds they do, there is some little bit of ananda at this level. Then you go to a slightly higher level, that Gandharva, next to the humans. We have some gradations. You may believe it in or believe in them or not, but conceptually, if we accept it, or tentatively if we accept also, there are certain celestial beings we accept. All these celestial beings are at different levels. And these different levels, they are put in those categories depending on happiness levels. Happiness levels means the desire level is less, happiness is more. The next level, the desire level is much less, happiness is more. The next level, desire level is much less and happiness is more. So the lesser the desire, the more is the happiness. The lesser the desire, the more is the happiness. So depending on that, there are certain gradations which are made. So depending on that kama upashama means withdrawal. Upashama is withdrawal and or some not exactly suppression. Upashama means let us say fire extinguishes, let us say. Kama upashama, kama extinguishes, the desire becomes extinguished. The level of extinction, let us say, the level of extinction of kama, the level of extinction of the desire. So the degree, let us say, not even the level, the degree of extinction of desire. So that determines your level of ananda. So that, of course, we will see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.